it's clear when watching propaganda networks like MSNBC, one of the biggest threats to democracy is Christian nationalism because, and I'm about to play this clip, Christian nationalists rather, they have the audacity to
Mm-hmm.
believe that our rights are inalienable and we are
Mm-hmm.
endowed by our creator.
Groups that you should get very schooled on because they have a lot of power in Trump's circle. And the one thing that unites all of them, because there's many different groups orbiting Trump, but the thing that unites them as Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way, because Christian nationalists is very different, is that they believe that our rights as Americans, as all human beings, don't come from any earthly authority. They don't come from Congress. They don't come from the Supreme Court. They come from God. The problem with that is that they are determining men, it is men, are determining what God is telling them. And in the past, that so-called natural law is, it's a pillar of Catholicism. Catholicism, for instance, has been used for good in social justice campaigns. Right. Martin Luther King evoked it in talking about civil rights. But now you have an extremist element of conservative Christians who say that this applies specifically to issues including abortion, gay marriage, and it's going much further than that.
Oh, wow. So
Okay.
believing that our rights are inalienable and from God is now um, extremist radicalism.
Extremist radicalism. So, Terry, do you want to remind us what our Declaration of Independence
Yeah, see
says?
what I have here?
Let's
My
talk
handy
about it.
dandy, let's see, let's go right here to the Declaration of Independence. And it says, in the course of human events, we all know this part, blah, blah, blah. We hold these truths to be self evident that all men are created equal and they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable
Wait,
rights.
Terry, I thought the left says it's only white Christian men. Does it say that in there?
Let's we hold that all men. No,
All
it says
men.
all men.
Are you telling
Are,
me? Are you telling me that the woke blue-haired gender studies professor I had lied? Is that what you're
yes,
telling me?
yes, I
This
am.
is a travesty. I can't believe it.
On and all of those men being created equal, they're endowed by their creator. Now, I did have an idiot on TikTok tell me that was my mom, and I said, "Well, that's hilarious. Then we would all have different rights." So, yeah, I this is what people I think they get it, maybe not, but again, this always goes back, and this is why our founding fathers believed our rights were inalienable and came from God, and put it is that because they understood that if the government can give you your rights, the government can take away your rights.
Exactly.
And what it transcends that and says it doesn't, if your government gets corrupt, if they violate your rights, then you can overthrow them because these rights are inalienable and you have a right to defend them. And I don't, people like this don't get how scary, they think Christian nationalism is scary. When do you tell men you can decide what rights
Well,
are?
here's the other thing I'd say. They get so mad when quote unquote men take away the right to kill your child through abortion, right? They get very upset
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Yes,
But
very upset.
according to them, that should be perfectly fine because it's the role of government to give and take away rights anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
why are we complaining when we lose the right to cut off our genitals to transform into the other gender or to have an abortion? If government's role is to give and take away rights as it pleases, and they don't come from a higher power, why is there any controversy about those rights?
Because exactly. But here's the thing. They're not even saying, they don't even acknowledge, and this is in the that we govern ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? They are saying the government governs us and decides what we should have.
Yep.
And then they're worried about a threat to democracy. You are literally saying the people have no say. The government should make these decisions for us, not the citizens. And so that the fact that citizens should be silent, that's it. I don't like, again, I don't think they know what democracy is. You're literally talking about silencing citizens and giving men power. What if they decide to take away our right to vote?
I
I
mean,
mean that.
here's what I had to say. Officially, I'm an agnostic, even though I'm very open to religion at this point, but in an official capacity, I'm agnostic.
You're going to hell. Yeah.
Exactly. But here's the thing: even though I'm an agnostic, I hope our rights are secured and given by God. I want that to be true, because, like you said, otherwise, what's stopping Joe Biden and his radical DOJ from taking my rights away?
Yeah.
I think I want that to be true. And she's saying, and you know, she's talking about the specific belief in inalienable rights in our declaration. But what she's really saying, and this is what's more insidious about what her comments are, is only quote unquote Christian nationalists believe in our founding ideals. It's broader than just the statement she said. She's implying that.
And that's extremist.
Exactly.
To believe in our founding ideals is extremist.
Exactly. It's extreme. It's extremism, and not just extremism. It's a form of dangerous extremism, because that's how they view Christian nationalists. It's this dangerous extreme ideology that we have to expel and drive back into the shadows. And so only undesirable, you know, as Hillary Clinton might say, deplorable people, only deplorable extremist people have the gall to believe in our founding ideals.
Well, and it's also the thing of when she mentioned abortion is, and I don't even address the gay marriage thing, because there's no laws. Nobody's introducing anything to ban gay marriage.
Yeah, Republicans
right?
just voted to codify gay marriage last year. So I don't see that going the other way.
By the majority, yeah. So I don't even address that. That's something, yeah. But with the abortion thing, it is the assumption that you are right. There's no debate. This is, you know, the idea that human life has value or sanctity, or that you can see it differently, is you oppressing people, not you having a different viewpoint.
Yep.
And what amazes people, well, you shouldn't be allowed to vote that way. Okay, well, I could say the same thing, right? I truly believe that you are violating human rights when you end the life of an unborn child. You should not be able to vote your convictions that that's not true. And that's the thing. Christian nationalists, the extremists, are the ones being told you cannot vote your convictions, but our founding principles are exactly that.
Yep.
They're exactly that. I don't expect an atheist to vote my convictions, but for some reason I'm getting that I should vote theirs.
I guess what I don't understand is she implying that conservative Christians in 2024 just invented the idea of natural rights and never existed before, and all of a sudden we thought it up? Like you, Carrie, you're a conservative Christian. You just were writing down, doodling some ideas in a notebook one day, and you thought,
yes.
I have the...
I'm sorry, it was me. I did it.
You're like, I just have a kooky idea that our rights are bigger than government, and they come from something...
You know what? They didn't come up with it.
So you wrote down in this notebook, and then somebody leaked it, and it got out to the press, and now, thanks a lot, Terry. We're getting a bad rap. We're all getting a bad.
I started the extremist Christian nationalism. How many centuries ago?
Because of people like you, MSNBC hates me. I'm sick of it.
What cracks me up is they are terrified of Christian nationalism, but they are not afraid of Islamic nationalism.
By the way, check out our other podcast discussion on...
Yes, on this. We go in depth. But they are not at all afraid. And here's the thing. I don't know... I've heard one or two Christians in my life, but I don't know many Christians who... I don't know any right now, who want a theocracy, who think that the government should be based on religion or any... I don't know anyone like that who wants to shove religion down people's throats. That is not the case with, and you should check out our last podcast. Was it 2 podcasts ago, or was it 2-parter? Where that's literally what Islam does in every country they're in, and yet they have no concern about that, none. And so it amazes me the hypocrisy and the refuse to acknowledge. And also, I always go back to the hypocrisy of Christian nationalism is dangerous. And somehow green nationalism is not, right? Nationalism is defined as by doing what is best for your country at the expense of others. I'm not sure how Christian nationalism destroys other countries. I'm sure this woman has some idea. But green nationalism, in this Green Deal that they want to push through, is destroying other countries. This is causing problems in the Congo. The demand is causing child labor, slavery, pollution, a genocide in the Congo. It's causing the same things in South America. We are literally destroying other continents so that we can push forward this green agenda quickly. That is literally nationalism, to make America better and less harsh on the environment, better for the environment, at the expense of poorer nations. They literally practice nationalism, and that they're not concerned about at all.
Exactly.
So the hypocrisy is, it's astounding.
Of course not.
It really is. And ignorant.
Absolutely true.
Heidi can suck it.
No.
I don't like her.
So Heidi, she faced some pretty severe backlash after these comments, as she should, and she issued an apology, quote unquote apology. I'll put the air quotes around it. So as you know, I think there's a tendency. Let me show you the apology, then we can talk about what we think. Politico reporter apologizes for quote clumsy words about Christian nationalists.
I thought she was very well spoken.
Me too. Yeah, if there's one thing she was very eloquent and confident in what she was saying. She says, "I fell short." And this is something you see a lot of times when people have to issue these phobe, and you can tell it's a fake apology because they'll say something really deliberate, really intentional, and then they'll say it was misspeaking, or it just came out that way. Was it really?
That was rehearsed. She said that with her whole chest, my whole chest, with your whole chest. She borrowed the guy next to her. She said that with absolute confidence.
Yep.
And that's when you see the bubble of politics in Washington and journalism.
Yep.
Because she really thought everybody will agree with me. And people forget, over 60% of this country still believes in God to some extent. Right? It doesn't mean they go to church, but they believe in God. So when you say and believe that their rights are inalienable, so when you come out and call those people extremists, you're going to get backlash. She sits around the office and says this crap, and everybody tells her she's brilliant.
Exactly.
She was stunned that people were, wait, what? Everybody doesn't think they're extreme radicals? What? Oh, yeah. So
exactly.